Well, there she is, my love. Your clawfoot tub refinished. It's a little dusty in here. I'm gonna let it set up another day, and then yep, we'll plumb that sucker in. And once we plumb that in, we get the toilet in. But my stuff from Amazon came in. I got 25 of these things for 20 bucks. I'll include a picture. They're $2 and some odd cents, $2.59 at Lowe's. I picked these up for 50 cents a piece. I figured as long as I was ordering something, they'll keep me from cutting elbows myself. And those were pretty relatively cheap. So today, the goal is to work on these cabinets. I've got some stainless steel screws. I'll find my studs in here. I'll mount them to the wall. Of course, making sure everything is level. I got my countertops outside. I want to bring them inside, let them get acclimated to the heat. And sawhorses should be here tomorrow. Yeah, I got a real good deal, really good deal through Harbor Freight. Since I'm a Harbor Freight member, the Inside Club, Inside Track Club or whatever. So anyway, yeah, I couldn't even build them for cheaper than I got them. Plus they come with clamps. So anyway, that's the goal today. We're going to get these cabinets attached, try to bring in, I'm going to measure those and see which ones I'm going to use, get ready to cut them, and try to match some of this stuff. I've got to fill in this and get her stained and painted, and I've got a few other areas where I've got to repaint and stain and figure out what I'm going to do. I don't know if I should just leave it like this or put a shim in there, but that's got to be redone. So anyway, and then I'm probably going to take a 1x6 from my toe kick here and put that in there. I'm still on the fence on whether or not I'm going to paint it, stain it, distress it, or what. So anyway, that's what we got going for the day. Okay, well, I got this mounted. Everybody's pretty much in the bubble and happy. You can see that one. It's in there. Boy, you really can't see it. Anyway, I found a couple spots. My stud finder has a lot to be desired. Yeah, they're all mounted really well. Everything's nice and flat. I got this here mounted to both sides. This was just a spare piece of countertop that was hanging out, so I thought I'd take a look and see how it looked on there. So yeah, this ain't going nowhere. So I thought about this gap. You know what? I'm gonna keep that there. You know, all of the ones that I see, they've got a little gap in there, and I'm just being anal here because I've got that perfectly centered, damn near. So in case we ever want to get another stove, I like cooking with gas, not electric, but that's neither here nor there. So, you know, maybe one day. But I don't see a problem with that gap in there. I mean, worst case scenario is I can push the stove over an inch. But anyway, so we got this going in here, this piece, obviously. I've got to paint it, but it's in there. So I've got some, I'm redoing that there. These right here, I'm repainting those and going to restain them. Tonight I'm going to bring in, there's only one piece I can use out there for the main one, and that's the one you can't see. That's the big one. So the big countertop. So I got to cut off a bunch of that because that, I don't know, half of that, well, let's see here. Half of that, which would go on this wall right here, has a backsplash to it, and the other half doesn't. Regardless, this piece down here is too wide, but that's the only configuration with the factory edge and long enough to span this whole deal. So I'm probably going to do that. I've already measured, so I'm going to have to add a piece in here somewhere. But that's, I can butt joint that, glue it up. Like again, I'm not too worried about it because we've got some contact paper that's going to go over the top of that. I don't know how well that'll work, but she got contact paper, so we'll see. Yeah, as soon as I paint this up, it's still kind of early. I'm going to go start on the tub plumbing. I get the fixtures in and, you know, get all that going. So anyway, that's what we got going. I'll get that thing in here. It's nice and toasty in here. Let that get acclimated. Wood, it's important that your wood gets acclimated to the weather. Here, I bought these at Lowe's, and obviously before I bought them, I checked them out. Well, there's your first one. Yeah, there's your second one. Obviously, when I was there, I took a look at the wood before I bought it. I wouldn't buy anything like this, but this is what it does. You know, I don't know if it, I don't know. I can use them for shim stuff, but anyway, it's important to get that wood. This is real wood. That other stuff out there is particle board, so it's not going to have the propensity to twist and bend. But anyway, so for now, that's it. We'll go work on the tub and get this going, and we'll give you one last video towards the end of the day. Oh, so down here, had to move it over a little bit, so I got a little trimming right there on the receptacle. You can see my line here. I tried to be perfect. This is still good, even though it looks like it's on this. And then we've got these. So after I test these, what I'm going to do on all this stuff in here is I've got some spray foam. So yeah, one of those two, I think it was the cold water line. Yeah, that's right up against the outside sheathing. I don't know why they did it that way, and I don't know. I just like it in the wall. I could have brought it up down here through the floor, but this looks more professional, and I like going through the wall. So anyway, I'm going to get some spray foam in there once I know it doesn't leak, and we'll button all that up. So we're moving right along. Next to these fans, these, I don't know if it's next, but they may be a big thing. They're heavy, really heavy. So I've got to make sure it's supported. I might have to cut open that drywall and get to the studs, which again, no problem. I got the texture brush and all that, but certainly don't want it falling down. And it's so big with fans, it could wobble. So it wants to be very sturdy. So I haven't even checked that out. We're going to put one there and then one up there. She don't like these fans, so we got two new ones. Anyway, that's what we're doing. Okay, so I worked on some these cabinets some more. I sanded these down a little bit, threw some more turquoise paint on, a little bit up in here, some more turquoise and sanding in here. I've got the other ones in the other room. So anyway, we want to figure out what we want to do for a toe kick. So that's just a scrap piece of wood that I've got there, and it's not going to be that color if I stain it, but it'll be brown, or I can try to match the cabinets. I'm thinking, well, we want to match what we've got up here, I'm thinking. So I'll use that stain for down here, and we'll run that all the way across here. So anyway, we got that going. I brought in the countertop. So the countertop, as you can see, well, first off, it's too long. Knew that. And then, of course, it sticks out too much here. We're about 24 1/4. So you can see how much overhang I've got. So this is 6 inches. That's pretty much what I've got to take off. But you can see the other issue. This has got a backsplash on it. So does the other piece that I'm going to cut and put in here. I can pull it together. I got the right bolts. But yeah, so I'm going to try to put that together. I'm thinking leave the backsplash on there. But I guess you got that walnut contact paper. The thing about that is I bet you it's 24 inches. So right now, from the back of that to here, you can see it's 24. Well, obviously, you know, we're pretty close to 24 right here to the edge. So a piece of 24-inch contact paper isn't going to span that. And, you know, it's not going to span this either. We want to keep this round lip on here. And by the time we go up and over, we're past our 24. So we got to figure out what we want to do with that. But anyway, yeah, I brought this in, let it warm up a little bit, and we'll get cutting on it. I gotta try to figure out what I do. I sure don't want to just take off this backsplash. You know, either way, this lip has to stay on here. So it it's going to be more than 24. So I don't know how that paper is going to work. Anyway, yeah, I worked on a little bit of the plumbing here. So I got this stuff painted, letting it dry, and then we'll go ahead and throw a light coating of stain on that and put those back. So here's the tub. Put the faucet and everything. I about lost it. I was doing all this, and I should wait. You know, this is that epoxy stuff, and it needs to set up. My God, they're talking a week, you know, before you can wash it or do anything like that. But it needs 72 hours, and I thought for sure I put a ding in it right here. Oh, I about lost it. But nope, it was just a hard piece of dirt that I had, a piece of grease. And so anyway, that's what the faucet will look like there. I'm going to wait till tomorrow to start the rest of this. It should be pretty simple. I got the holes cut in it, and yeah. So anyway, we do that tomorrow, and then hopefully I can get to that plumbing down below. And let's see here, except for the kitchen, which I can temporarily put on valves, you know. We'll check the weather. Looks like 50s. If it isn't going to freeze, then I'll fire this thing up, check for leaks, and I can start buttoning up all the plumbing, you know, get the faucets running and do all that stuff. So anyway, that's about it for today. Yeah, I got a lot done. Hopefully some of my sawhorses will come and I can get that countertop down and cut it and figure out what I'm going to do with it. So anyway, that's about it.